Internal reports, later made public, detailed multiple behavioral red flags involving both Orchid and Splash. Incidents where whales didn't respond to cues, acted unpredictably, or showed signs of irritation during routine sessions. These weren't rare occurrences. They were documented patterns. Whistleblowers, speaking years later, described a culture of pressure where voicing safety concerns often meant risking your position. Trainers who raised flags about waterwork were quietly reassigned or ignored. The show had to go on. The illusion had to stay intact. Even more damning, internal memos reportedly flagged both Orchid and Splash as high-risk animals for in-water interactions. These weren't just difficult whales. They were known liabilities, but they remained in rotation, and Tamarie was sent into the water anyway. Was it overconfidence, negligence, or something worse? Because what happened to Tamarie Tollison wasn't just an accident. It was the latest chapter in a long list of near misses that had been building for years. She wasn't the first trainer to be pulled under by an orca, but she was the one who lived to talk about it. And now her survival was forcing SeaWorld to answer questions they had avoided for far too long. Tamarie Tollison's road to recovery began the moment she left the operating room at a San Diego trauma center. Doctors had worked for hours to repair the compound fracture in her arm, stabilize nerve damage, and begin the long process of healing both bone and tissue. Pins were inserted, ligaments were stitched, but the damage ran deeper than anyone could see. Over the following weeks, she entered intensive physical rehabilitation, learning to use her arm again, regaining strength in her leg, and trying to process the trauma that had nearly killed her. What had once been second nature, swimming, diving, trusting, now carried the weight of memory and pain. She didn't speak publicly, she didn't appear in interviews, and quietly, without announcement or farewell, Tamarie Tollison never returned to waterwork with orcas again. Those who worked beside her at SeaWorld San Diego never forgot what they saw that day. Off camera, some trainers admitted it changed everything for them. One later said, "We all knew it could have been worse, and that scared us." Another recalled watching her pulled out of the water, limp and bloodied, and thinking, "That could have been any one of us." But while her body began to heal, her life was never the same. Because how do you return to the water when the animals you once called family nearly ended your life? And perhaps more haunting, what do you do when the world moves on, but you're still living with the silence? Tamarie never gave a public statement, no interviews, no memoir, no media tour, but her absence said everything. Still, the whales remained in the stadium. The shows went on, and deep below the surface, questions still swirled. Questions that SeaWorld had yet to answer, because the story wasn't over. Not yet. While Tamarie Tollison disappeared quietly